I don't know why.
Hey.
Okay. What's up? Oh, I have a child. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we're recording later, so you know, whatever. Today is chaos.
I thought it was better though, to be honest with you, than when we usually do. I feel like I had more of a day. Like I didn't feel very rushed. I don't know. I don't know about you. We'll keep playing with it.
Yeah, it kind of this worked for me because the whole reason we had to reschedule is um today was Jag's last day of school and he had finals and it was a weird schedule and I totally forgot that today was even Thursday because he hasn't had normal school all week. And I don't know, I
Yeah,
just forgot. Now this morning I was like, oh shit, we're supposed
I
to be
know.
recording.
And it was a weird day anyways, because I was just like not feeling it this morning. I was like, wait, what? We were gonna record at 9? I don't think I can do that today.
I
I
know. Yeah. Thank God
physically
we can
could not
just
do it.
do whatever
I know.
feels good.
I know. And like, okay, I was actually on our thing the other day and we're up to like over 500 downloads and I was shocked. I thought maybe we would get like 90 people that would be interested in this. We have way more than I ever thought we
You're
would.
so cute. I think it's like almost 600 now.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I just was really shocked because I was thinking 90. I'm like, I'll be happy if we just get 90 people that want to listen to us talk. And look at us. I could not believe it. I'm so excited. So if you're listening, we just want to say thank you very much for taking
Yeah.
time today to listen
Yes.
to us babble about our favorite reality shows.
Yeah. Big thank you. We love it.
So okay, Farmer Wants a Wife officially the finale. I'm super disappointed there was no reunion. Like,
Oh,
real
me too.
mad
But
about it. I had to
can
waste
we?
a lot of energy going through people's Instagrams trying to figure out if they're still together or not. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't
But
have any
like, can we
stories. I
just
need to
say how like much of an idiot I am because I texted you and was or voice noted you or something, and I'm like, what are we going to talk about this week now that it's over? Like, I totally forgot that we haven't talked about part two of the finale.
yeah. That was hilarious. I'm like, wait, hold up, girl.
It was, a week ago, and I watched it on that day or like the day after. So
Yeah.
I
And you're
was,
pulling Emily. You're just like, it's done and over. I'm moving on now.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Um,
thoroughly disappointed and I'm moving on.
Well, I agree with you about the reunion. Like, I really wish they would do that. We've said that before, but we want to know what's up. We want to keep up with them. And
Yeah, I
if
need
they could,
closure.
yeah, if they could just like, I don't know, do one show that's like 6 months or a year later or whatever, and just let us know like what's going on. Because also, like we talked about in the last episode, I think it was, how you brought up, it probably would be a strain and challenging to have the person that you're dating like off doing all these fun, extravagant things,
Yeah.
sitting at home. Like, I might just be like, fuck you, I'm over this and I'm
I
out.
know.
So I'm like, I need to know, were they able to sustain a relationship in that?
Right. And girl, because you're like, I don't think Matt's with anybody because of how flirty he was on Kristen's podcast. And I'm like, dun dun dun. He was still, or he is, I guess I shouldn't say was. As far as I know, according to Instagram, he's still with who he picks. Let's just go through that, okay?
Yeah,
All right.
but I just have to say that to me, if I were her, I would be dumping him after that because I just
Yeah.
don't like that. I don't like when a man is flirty with another woman when he's with me. That's a
Yeah.
no.
She says that's a no.
Yeah.
Um, I always look like I'm wrestling my child, but I'm like, okay, we're gonna put this on YouTube. Like, you don't need to be on YouTube.
I
They go
understand.
somewhere else.
I understand.
Um. Anyway, so yeah, okay, let's go through the finale dates. I really liked all of these dates. I thought they were like really good.
Yeah.
Who was it? Okay, Colton and Zoe, and then it was John and Claire,
Claire.
and then Jay and Karina, and then Matt and Chelsea. So basically, everybody that I thought was going to end up together was in the second. Actually, I didn't know
Oh,
about Colton. I thought maybe Colton would pick Keely, but
well, yeah. So we can start anywhere you want, but I definitely have some things to say about John.
okay, let's start with John. I'm like kind of in love with him now, to be honest with you.
I Yeah,
He's
I
so
love
fun.
John.
I
Yeah,
have not finished, or I started Jason Tardick's podcast, but I have not finished it, and I'm
yeah,
really excited to hear more about him.
yeah. So I haven't listened to that yet, but here is what he said, and we're just gonna dive right into the tea because we got to have a little conversation about this.
Okay, tell me.
So he was telling Claire's mom that he wants a traditional family and that it's controversial because he wants hit to work and he wants his wife to be home and to raise the kids.
Yeah,
And he didn't say raise them. He said, I want her to be home with our children. Because obviously he's mentioned before that he wants to be involved raising his children. But
yeah,
I love that. And I am
me
trying
too.
to figure out, how did this become controversial? Like, what happened? I need your input on this because the fact that it's controversial for a man to work and a woman to stay home and actually mother the children that she brought into this world through her literal body and to care for her home and make a home that we've talked about before. Making a home takes time and effort, like, and energy. And I just need to know, how did this become controversial? What are your thoughts? Is it controversial?
I I can't tell you if it is or it isn't. I feel like it's starting to come back this way. I feel
Yeah.
like during the 90s, a lot of parents both worked, maybe 90s, early 2000s. And I don't know, the people I'm surrounded by, I think, are more like moms stay home, dads go to work. I
Mhm.
don't know if it's controversial. I guess I don't know. I think that people, it's hard to sustain here. This is how I'll say it. I think it's hard to sustain a type of lifestyle, a certain type of lifestyle that people want to promote or have on one income. Um,
Mhm.
depending on the husband's job. So I think that's why women started to work, because they have a certain type of lifestyle that they're interested in, or the family or whatever. And in order to have that, you need money. Um, and then I also think that we went through like this big women's liberation movement where we're going to go to work and we're going to break all these glass ceilings and I'm going to be a CEO and blah, 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 blah. Like, I always imagined myself working until retirement. I never thought I would stay home with kids. Not that I didn't want to, but that was just like my family was very hardworking and dedicated to their jobs for 30. Like, my dad still works, and my mom worked for 35 years before she retired at 56. Like, she retired at 56 and she worked 35 years. Like, that's amazing. Anyway, so I always pictured myself doing that. And then after my mom passed away, everything changed for me and my priorities changed and my ideas of the world changed. Because this is funny you're talking about this. My friend the other day was talking about maybe staying home once her kids are in school. It might make more sense by then, and her husband will have this promotion by then, and whatever. And she's like, but then I'm thinking about retirement. And I was like, I think it's good to be smart, but I also experienced a huge loss because my mom was only 60 when she died, and
Yeah.
my dad hadn't retired yet. And that was like their dreams. Like, they had so many dreams for retirement and they were all lost, like
Yeah.
within hours.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't think, I don't know. I think living in the moment and trying to do your best is where I'm at. And like, that's why I stay home now.
Mhm.
But I can also see why it's controversial because people plan on retirements, and I don't know. I think the world is just like the expectations of the world that it puts on you. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just like this
Yeah.
expectation from the world that, you know, you need to
Yeah.
check all these boxes, I guess.
Yeah. So you said a few things I want to respond to. This little the
Yeah, that
MG.
was a lot.
I gotta like respond. So first of all, I think it's interesting that you said like I come from a hardworking family because so do I. And my nana was probably one of the hardest working people I know, and she stayed home and raised her family and helped raise her grandchildren. She would come to my mom's house and help clean because my mom worked. And so she would like come. I remember as a kid, like she would come and I would come home from school and she would have been there like, and she would be like sweaty and her hair would be pulled up. And she had been like really like cleaning everything out and helping my mom make our home nice because my mom did work and didn't have the time to put into that. And so I think there's like this um, reframe that maybe our society needs around hard work. And also, like, you don't have to work hard. Like, that's another reframe. You actually don't have to work hard to be an amazing person and be successful. Like, you can do what's in flow for you and what doesn't feel like that. But I know we have this idea about working hard and what that means. And like if you're a stay at home mom, I think
People don't view that as work.
right. And I think it's like the most important work on planet Earth to raise other human beings, right? And like to teach them and to love them and to like just nurture them and to tend to your husband, to tend to your home, to tend to your community. Like all of that is important, I believe. And I don't give a shit how old fashioned that sounds because the truth is that we need to get back, I believe, as a society to that kind of connection and that kind of like networking and where kids feel safe and secure and where marriages feel safe and secure and all of that. And I just know, I think if more moms were at home, then there would a lot of the things that we look at as problems, like um, even just stemming from the foods that kids eat and the health issues that that brings up, but also like behavioral types of issues, violence in schools. Like there would be so much that would shift just by kids being actually raised by their moms and having a nurturing
Yeah.
home environment.
There are studies out there if people want to look them up. And, you know, people who eat dinner together at a table at night, like families, kids who grow up that way are like 90% less likely to do drugs or something. Like, I don't know what all the studies say, but there
I believe
is
it.
data out there that supports that. And I'm with you. I think because you're talking about success, everybody has a different idea of what success is.
Mm-hmm.
And I got caught up in my idea of success as a family. Like last year, we put my son in baseball for the first time because, you know, that's what everybody else my age in their 30s all have their kids in these sports and they're successful and they have that's the other part of it money, you know, they can do all this stuff,
Yeah.
whatever. So we tried it and it was the worst time of my life because it was fun, but it was too busy. All these parents are cranky. They're not worrying about the fundamentals of baseball. They're worrying about the score. And it's like, who cares? They're 8 to 5, 5 to 8, I think was the group. It doesn't matter what the score is. It matters if they're good at, you know, hitting the ball or being a team player or whatever. It was the dumbest thing. And that's why we signed up for tumbling, which is once a week. And that's
Yeah.
it. Because that's not my definition of success. I am not going to run my kid around a million nights a week and be rushed and feel like crap because we're eating crap food because we're in a hurry.
Right.
So I can feel successful that my kid is cool playing a
Yeah,
sport. And
isn't it?
that's just me personally. Other
Yeah.
families can do what they want. They can, if that's what they love, then go
Yes.
for it. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying for me personally, that's not where I find success. And it took me a while to come to terms with that because that's where like a lot of people my age with kids, the same ages of my kids,
Yeah.
that's what they're like showing all the time is that's how they're successful and their kids are in all these sports and they're doing all these things. And I'm like, man, is my kid missing out? Turns out he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not missing a thing.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think, when I think back about my childhood memories, it wasn't when I went to Timling or when I was like, even doing Optimist Cheer, like I remember it, but that wasn't the big memories when I was a kid were like literally at my Nana and Papa's house, playing in the yard with my cousins and like all the neighbors and just playing baseball games in the yard or tag or
Mm-hmm.
climbing trees or like going down over the hill and acting like I knew how to identify plants or whatever. And then,
Yeah.
yeah. And then like at my other like Mama and Papa's house. And I remember there being more with just family and my cousins, but like going to church with them and sitting there, my Nana giving or my mama giving me butterscotch candies, or in church, or like playing Atari and watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like things that were family. I don't know, like I remember that stuff more, and that was more fulfilling in my spirit than going and doing being an Optimist cheerleader. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
But like that wasn't what really stands out. That's not what stands out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the fact that it's controversial for women to stay home or for a man to desire that is, I don't know, like that's a little bit concerning for me, because I think it's just like women should be able to go work if they choose to. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It also should not be a problem for a man to really desire to have like a woman who will make a home.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree with what you're saying. And it is kind of strange. I guess I don't even want to say strange, maybe sad that it is controversial because it's such a normal thing. Like it should be a normal
Yeah, like who
part of
else is
the
going to raise
world.
your, like why do you need to pay someone in a building, like one person with a room full of kids to raise them? Like why is that not controversial?
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
completely agree. Yeah. I mean, I struggled a lot this year with Colt being at school for 8 hours because I'm like, okay, like that's 4 is long enough. Like,
Yeah.
where's this half day option? Because this is like excessive. I am home to be with my kids. I think it's good for him to go. I think it's good for me for him to go because I need to stop being such a helicopter parent. But yeah, I think the world has just been set up to everybody has to work, everybody has to be bringing home all this money. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of it too is people spend above their means. Like, you don't need to have all this new stuff, you don't need to have a new car. I mean, if you want one, whatever, but that it comes with sacrifices, and sacrificing like
Mhm.
staying home
Yeah.
is one of them. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody can have their own priorities. We are not saying you have to do what we think,
No, of
but it is
course.
kind of crazy that he, oh, it's controversial.
But
What
yeah.
I thought was kind of crazy was when Claire's mom was like, yeah, once they were 16 and they had a car, I just said, call me. I was like, what? But I guess that would teach a kid, I would maybe think responsibility, or they would make, I would have made really bad choices if my parents said that. If they would have been like, okay, cool, here you go.
I
You
was
have a
kind of
car,
raised that
just
way.
call me.
Yeah.
What, that you just had a car and you could just go wherever and you just had to call them?
Yeah. I mean, there were I did have like certain rules that I knew, and especially about like, I guess, guys and dating. But um yeah, my parents, like, I didn't have a curfew or anything. I would just be like, this is
Did you
where,
have a job?
yes, I did
Okay,
work for a while. Like,
it would make
at
more
home.
sense. I would
But
be maybe at more okay if my kid had a job and they were paying for their like I'm not gonna pay for your gas for you to run around and play. Like
oh, my dad, I think
mom
my dad, yeah, my dad
is
paid
to
for my
just
gas.
run around. I think I'm
Yeah.
just cranky. I'm like, you're not gonna take my money so you can run around and play. I want to go run around and play. You can stay
Yeah.
home and do the dishes.
Yeah. No, my dad paid for my gas because he would go fill my car up for me every Sunday.
What a sweetie.
Yeah. He really
But
instilled.
if you have a job, that's a little different, I think. I think, yeah, that's just my opinion. I would be probably more like John. I don't know that I would just be like, here you go. Maybe like when they're a senior in high school, I might be a little more lenient.
Yeah. I think
I,
when you raise, like what I'll say, I'll speak for myself because, Jair's 17. I feel like I have raised him so well. We have such a great relationship. We do have dinner together like pretty much every single night. We always have his whole life. Like I've been the one raising him. So I know who he is and what kind of kid he is. And I don't worry about like the choices he's going to make. And we talk about everything. So I feel like just yesterday he went out with his friends and it was just he's like, hey, we're wanting to go like do this. I'm like, okay, just like let me know whenever you're headed home. Like there was no, and they like ran around when he got home. I was like, oh, like what did you all end up doing? And like, I don't worry about it.
yeah.
um but I'm sure like if I had a little hellion kid I might.
I don't
but
even
I
think I was Italian. I don't know.
Yeah. But I think giving kids responsibility, like little by little, showing them you trust them and like that how they act is that's what makes you trust them or
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Hmm.
and just having that good relationship, I think by the time they get 16, 17, it's just easy to navigate.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying. I don't know. My parents just were not that lenient, I guess.
Well, I
I was
did
kind of
feel
surprised
like,
John was like pick or well, I guess I'll just say it. John picked Claire. And I was kind of surprised
yeah.
because I figured he would go for somebody a little more like housewifey
Yeah.
versus but I
Well,
mean
did you
I think
hear
they're
his mom,
good
her
together.
mom? Her
No,
mom asked him, what are girls for?
I don't remember that. How do I
Oh
not
my
remember?
God. She said, what are girls for? After he said that about staying home. And he said back to her, um, are you asking me girls or women? And she goes, oh, women. And then he said that he wanted to think about it. And he said, they're the missing piece. And I thought that
Yeah,
was a really good answer.
yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was, but I see what you mean. Like, I thought he was going to pick the other girl.
Yeah, because she seemed to be a little more like,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
guess.
like how he is.
Yeah, like wife, the type of wife he's describing, which Claire could end up being that. I mean, obviously, like if that's been part of their discussions, then it's not going to be a secret when it comes time. And he's like, okay, so I would really like for you to stay home.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think I think it'll be fine. It's just like it was an interesting choice considering that she had, according to her mom too, like always thought about working and not really staying home with kids. But her mom brought it up to her and she seemed okay with it.
Yeah, and maybe he'll be open to her not staying home. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what else do you have on your notes? Do you have any more notes?
You know what I do? I have like hilarious things that just only I would be thinking. Um, like Colton's dad was like, "This is our homegrown beef that we're serving you," and I was like, "Is it grass fed?" Like I wanted to know. It's 100% grass fed beef. Inquiring minds want to know. Um,
I thought their families jived like super well. I will do the spoiler alert. They are not together. He did pick Zoe and they are not together. He's with some other chick according to Instagram.
oh, is he?
Some girl that does horse stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I
I
was trying
didn't
to creep on
know.
her profile and I was just like, okay, I can't get too much. I told you I've been trying to investigate here.
Well, I think that, in my opinion, and I've said this from the beginning, I just didn't feel like they were a good long term match because she's like, and he said it himself when her parents asked what made him like her, and he was like, "Well, she's a genius, and I'm not." And I felt like there was an element of, this is the wrong terminology. I was going to say like she was like above him or like too big for him, but there
Yeah.
was just this element of there was a wide gap between the way they live, their goals, all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that they're not together.
Yeah.
And he also
Okay.
wasn't ready. I don't think he was ready.
No, I think he's just looking to have fun.
Yeah, yeah.
He definitely just like play and have fun.
Now with Matt, and he picked Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
What's so funny to me is,
And they are still together according to Instagram.
well, her sister said, you know, we were talking about how he was slow and he kept saying no, like that's
On
just
Kristen's podcast, he's like, no, that's not even who I am. Even his parents were like, yeah, he's slow.
right. But then Chelsea's sister said it too.
Yeah. Yeah, but
She
he was
said,
like way more affectionate towards Chelsea. Did you notice that?
yeah,
He like
but
was like holding her hand and like touched her like low back and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, you go. Get it.
but they were like, she was like, well, you're both slow, so how do you think that's gonna work? Her sister
Perfect.
said it too. I mean,
I think slow is good to a point. To a point. What did you think about Jordan saying like, listen here, buddy, I gave you an out and you didn't take it. Like, what is wrong with you?
oh my God. First of all, Jagger was in here when that part was on. He just like happened to walk in the room right when that happened. And he was like, whoa, she's like really mad. Is she overreacting? And I guess like in one way I can see that it was like a big reaction to what happened, but in the other way I felt
Yeah.
like she did give him an out and she was probably embarrassed because she said to him like, are we just friends? And he's like, no. And so he did make it like, no, I really like you and I'm considering what to do or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that may have been true, but I mean, I don't know. What did you think? Because she like gave him down the road.
I kind of like it. Like, honestly, I mean, I know that you, when we watched the end of The Bachelor and Latia was like, what? And I was like, oh, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And you were like, that is just not acceptable or whatever. I don't think you said it's not acceptable. You were
No.
just like surprised. You're just like, that is not like something, you know, that you think is the way to handle that or whatever. I kind of like it, Sassy, for the drama, to be honest with you. And I also think I've been in situations where you're just like wanting to give the person like a piece of your mind and you don't because I don't know, you're not supposed to or you're shy or whatever. So
Yeah.
to me, I'm just
You're being
like,
a good little girl.
yeah, yes. And I think that it's almost empowering a little bit to just be like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what is wrong with you? I literally just asked you if we were just friends. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he liked her, but
Right. I think I understood it more in this situation than The Bachelor. And I also feel like In The Bachelor, Latia was like,
Okay, go get one.
I felt like in The Bachelor, Latia was like, just to say it bluntly, she to me was like a total bitch. And
Yeah.
I didn't feel like Jordan was. I just felt like Jordan was more like angry in the moment and just saying, she didn't like say anything about him as a man or tear him down. It was like, I gave you an out, you didn't give it to me, you know, I'm upset.
Yeah.
But I did not like how he said like God bless you or whatever he said.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't like that. I thought that was petty because
Yeah. I don't think he handled it well, but I also don't think he handled the whole season, to be honest.
right, it just
Definitely
showed
not.
more how he's not masculine.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Definitely not masculine containment. I don't know. There's one on the
Because
floor.
also like I think it's okay for a man. I mean, this could be controversial. I actually like when a man will say to me, like, hey, like, kind of uh let me know if I'm being a bitch about something without saying that to me though, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
way a man can really in a masculine, beautiful way, like have boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a way he could have said to her, like, I just feel like that your response right now is really inappropriate.
Yeah.
He could have said that and it would
Yeah.
be direct and his how he felt about it rather than, well, God bless you or
Yeah.
whatever, which was like gross.
No, it was horrible. And I don't think any of them practiced what they were gonna say. Or if they did, they all need note cards. On The Bachelor, it's like they must sit down with one of the producers and just say it over and over and over and over again. Because they all have it very clear what they want to say. These guys were like him hawing around, well, maybe like stuttering. It
Oh, like when they're
wasn't,
telling the people?
yes, it's not, their speeches
Yeah.
are not well given. So
Yeah.
I think if they would have thought about it more and like put some more effort into it,
I
it would have
thought
been.
John did a better job at it than anyone. I felt like
Mhm.
he was really thoughtful in how he communicated to both women.
Yeah. And we
Um,
both have decided that he's the most masculine out of all of them. Definitely
yeah,
have the
he
most
is
male
very masculine.
containment.
Yes, he does offer good containment. He is masculine, and I think he communicated really well. I will say that Colton, one of the things he said no, to Zoe was that she was a natural beauty.
Yeah.
And okay, look, I am not bad mouthing like how she looks or that she wants to like wear a bunch of makeup and dye her hair. I don't care. Like, good for her. Some women really want to do that. That's not my vibe, but like, that's great. But I would never use the words natural beauty to describe her. She has bleach blonde hair. She had on like, it looked like fake eyelashes. She had on like a ton of makeup. I just thought that was crazy.
Yeah. 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 I would
And
agree with
I'm
that.
like, are men that
A lot
delusional?
of
They don't know what natural is? Are they that delusional these days?
Yes. I mean, to me, Claire would be more natural because she
Yeah.
wasn't done up. I mean, I think out of all of the girls, or Grace or Karina, like
Yeah.
some of the girls were pretty. I mean, they probably wore makeup, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, as I sit here in no makeup today,
Yeah,
but
I haven't,
my
but
but
I
my point,
will.
yeah, but I mean, plenty of times I wear some makeup, but even when I'm like done up, like all full makeup,
Mhm.
it's more natural than, you know, Zoe.
Yeah, I
And
mean, definitely put a lot on that day. And
yeah,
I think
that's not a
during the whole
problem.
season, she had a lot on.
Yeah. So anyway, it just shocked me that he said that. I was like, well, that's
Yeah.
a weird thing to say.
I mean, Colton's not, I don't know. He just seemed like what you said. He just wants to have fun. He wants to have fun and make out with everybody. Like, I would want to know more about how they even found these people. Like, just curious. Where did you find these men? What about Jay? I was
Yeah.
shocked he didn't pick Karina. I was shocked. And I
I
haven't
was
looked
too.
at her Instagram or Grace's Instagram. I know that they're not, no, he's not with anybody from what I've seen on
He's
Instagram.
not? Okay.
Like they're not together because like John and Matt,
Yes.
they both like put on there basically right away that they were with somebody.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised because I told you that I didn't feel like Gracie was mature enough, ready enough, whatever. And the one
Yeah.
thing I will say that Jay said that kind of, I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? He said that he was concerned about, I didn't write down, I put her. So I don't remember if he was talking, which person he was talking about, but he said he was concerned about one of them moving there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, they can both be moving there. What does he mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I really liked how Karina handled it because she's like, you know, I do really love my family. I love being around my family. So, like, if I come here and I move here and he picks me, like, I would really want to be like a big part of your family. Like,
Yeah.
I love how she said that. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I was jaw on the floor shocked he didn't pick her because I thought they had like a really good.
I was shocked too. I thought for sure because they had a more like mature connection, and I felt like I think they would have stayed together.
Yeah, I do too. It just makes me wonder, like, so do they not? I don't know. Like, is Karina not interested since he didn't pick her, or like, where are these people? Like Bailey. Like, why did Colton not go after Bailey? Did Bailey just decide? Like, I don't know. I would love to see that someday, where like somebody they don't pick is like who they end up with.
Well, did you? Oh yeah, but that's happened before, like on The Bachelor, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I thought so. So have you looked at any of those girls' Instagrams that weren't picked? Because I haven't looked at anybody's.
No, I don't know. I haven't actually, because I was just like digging to see who was still with somebody. I was just like so annoyed there was no reunion. So it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like looking at all. I mean, I don't even know their Instagrams. I wasn't following them before. Now I'm following. I think I'm following all the guys now. Because I just got tired of trying to like remember what their names were to type in. So I'm like, just forget it, and I just hit follow. No, I will though. I'll look, and either we'll talk about it next week or we won't. But I'll
Get the gossip, girl, because I need to know.
like tell me, research Instagram and tell me all the things.
Yeah.
I would love to have some clarity though on these people and why it didn't work out or whatever. Like I need to know, but it's fine.
Yeah. Wasn't the crocheting stuff so cute? That Claire like made him like a scarf and a hat or something.
Yeah.
I thought that was adorable.
Yeah. I thought that was really funny.
I think okay, we saw more of their personalities and relationship at the end after he chose her and stuff than I feel like we saw the whole season.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see more of, is like that kind of stuff through the season.
Yeah, I would agree. I was really thinking that they were digging each other. Like once they went out on their date finally, I was like, oh yeah, there's totally something here. Like it's going somewhere for sure.
Yeah, it was good. Did you find anything else? I feel like that's all my notes.
No, because like I said before, and once I watch it and it's over with, and I'm just like, all right, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Done with that. Moving on.
Right. yeah, that's all that I had down. I mean,
I will be creeping and stalking for a while, probably.
I did think it was funny. This is one note I did. We've already kind of talked about this, but I thought it was funny, his wording, that John said he was wondering if he was having an existential crisis because Claire was raised so differently than him and still turned out so well. And so I think that goes back to something we've talked about a lot on the podcast in different episodes, like how people can do things. Well, as my dad would say, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
But like you can do things so differently and still have a really beautiful outcome or like the right thing for you, and it still worked really well. It's like everything doesn't have to be the same. So even to our like raising children, right? Like there are probably plenty of people in the world who've raised kids that the mom works and like they've outsourced that and they do have good kids. It's not like if you don't raise your own kid, then they're all going to become mass murderers or something. It's just
Right.
like I will speak for myself. I know like my mom working, I would have loved to have had my mom home with me, you know,
Yeah.
even though I turned out, I think, great as a human. But I also had like a lot of family around helping to raise me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, more than one way to skin a cat there, John. No need to have an existential crisis.
He's so funny. Well, I think he probably had in his mind like what it would look like. Because Claire's sister definitely looked different than Claire. Like,
yeah,
I was kind of shocked. She seemed, I don't want to say goth, but I don't know how else to describe her. She definitely had a vibe.
yeah, yeah. She was her
So I
own.
wasn't sure how he would interpret that. Like, I think he's open to people being different, but when you had like Lily's family and they were all very blonde and
Yeah. Like the tradition, like what
similar.
you would think of like a traditional Southern like
Mm-hmm.
family. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was kind of surprised he picked Claire. Like, I thought they vibed really well together, and I think I like their banter really well.
I did too.
But as far as like what he was saying about, wanting like a traditional role, I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. It was a
Yeah,
good season. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to next season.
me too. Now we just have to dive into some more reality TV shows.
I know. What did we landed on? What was it? Married at First Sight. I've never
Yeah.
seen any of those.
Oh my God, they're so good. I cannot wait. I'm so glad there's a new season. We are gonna get into some real juicy stuff for that.
And then what else do we talk about? Sneaky Links
Yeah,
or
and the
Sneaky
perfect
Link
match. I think there's new
and Perfect Match.
season coming
Yeah.
out.
Bachelor in Paradise is coming out this summer. I'm real excited for that. I hope it's a good season. I really hope it's a good season. I hope there's good ratings because I hear speculation that like the Bachelor might disappear and I'll be really sad. I could see them bringing it back. I could see them take, but I don't know.
Wait,
We'll
that
see
what
what
might
happens.
disappear? The Bachelor or Bachelor in
Yeah,
Paradise?
Bachelor. Like I think the whole franchise might
Oh,
take a
wow.
break.
Okay. I didn't know that, but I've never watched Bachelor in Paradise, so this will be my first time.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. Love it, especially if you're like familiar with past seasons, because you'll see all the people that you liked or didn't like, and
Yeah.
it's way more fun, I think, than The Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll have to dig in. So we're going to narrow this stuff down and
Next week we'll have an episode for sure. It'll just be over whatever. We'll see.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Probably we can do a Married at First Sight for sure because those are already out.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been fun. It's been real.
Yeah. We will talk at you all next week when we have a new show. Oh, well, I guess we just decided Married at First Sight is what we'll try.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited. I've never watched it.
Oh my God, you're gonna love it.
Yep.
You're gonna love it. It is like it's batshit. I don't know how these people go to an altar and marry someone they've never seen. I would for sure say no. I could not be on the show because my answer
Do they
would be
even talk to them? Like, do they talk to them at all? Or
yeah, they no, I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember if they talk.
But you know what?
yeah, that's a little crazy for me. Do any of them end up
think-
even like staying together?
I watch this all the time and every season, and I'm telling you right now, I'm like, I don't remember how it even works. Some of them do stay together. So there are like these psychologists. There's a psychologist and a pastor, and they go through profiles and match people.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, these people would be good. These people would be good. And then they learn about the person. And I think they get to maybe talk on the phone. I can't remember for sure, but then they don't see each other until the wedding
Okay.
day.
So like Love is Blind on steroids.
Yeah. Because at least Love is Blind, it's just they're engaged, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So
Okay.
that'll be juicy.
I'm gonna try it. I'm excited.
All right. Well, I will talk to you later. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.